Aaron, it's quite late in the season to play a game at home. I guess for you guys, is it not an ideal kind of time to be playing here at the SCG?
No, it's okay. We're coming off a T20 one-day series in South Africa, so we feel as though we're starting to improve as a side in one-day cricket. So regardless of whether it's in January or March, I don't think it makes much difference.
The Black Caps coming off a Test series win, obviously hard to beat at any time, but they'll have their chance up.
Yeah, they are. They played beautifully in the Test series against India, so they're always a side that bring their best against Australia, and they're a world-class one-day team. I think their ranking is reflective of that, and the fact that every time they play in an ICC tournament, they're so close to winning it. It just shows that they're such a consistent side. They're a well-drilled side, and they just do the basics really well all the time. So they're a team that you have to bring your best, and you have to have a few standout performances to beat them.
In recent series, because you say you're improving, but results aren't improving much.
No, the results aren't improving. We feel as though having a little bit more stability in that middle order will give them guys a chance to keep batting together a little bit more and build them relationships out in the middle. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the top three, and as experienced players, myself, Davey and Steve haven't got as many runs as what we should have. So that's where the buck stops. I think that you look at our bowling, it's been pretty good. It's been excellent in the power play. Like most teams around the world, wickets in the middle overs is hard to come by. So the teams that take them tend to win a lot more games. So that's an area we're focusing on as well, and just probably taking that next step from that 260, 280 total to really push up and get match-winning totals on the board.
Is that tempo at the top of the order as well as runs? Do you think the strike rates are good enough there in those power plays?
Yeah, I think they've been okay. That last one day, the wicket was difficult to start on. There was a little bit of seam and a little bit of inconsistent bounce, so we felt as though probably had to take our medicine a little bit more and really soak up some pressure, and we just weren't able to get through that sort of one down. We ended up 2 down and 3 not long after that. So South Africa, they bowled bloody well against us in the power play in particular. So you take that sometimes. I think in the T20 format we showed that we can get off the fly, so it's about finding that right balance and consolidating after we do get a decent start.
Playing back home, does it give you an extra edge?
Oh, it gives us confidence. We feel as though we play well in Australia. Again, like most teams, winning away from home is a real big challenge these days, and teams are generally more consistent at home, and the results would reflect that. So it's about keep improving, making sure that our strategy's right, making sure that once we get into a game that we continue to, as a batting unit, to continue to keep building and probably not pull the trigger a little bit too early, which we have in the past, and then sort of leaves you a little bit undone towards that back end of the innings. And but we love playing here in Australia.
You mentioned the bowlers and having Mitch start back. Will he have his tail up after watching Alyssa play in the Women's World Cup? Yeah,
no doubt. He was very appreciative that he was able to get back and watch that, and it was a great event, and the Australians turned on their absolute best on the biggest stage, which the girls always do. They're a world class side. They lead the way in women's cricket around the world, so it was brilliant for them to see.
Do you think they'll continue to use various combinations in that middle order to find one that clicks during this series, or are you keen to give 3 players a run?
Yeah, I'm keen to give them as long as possible. I think if you look at our last 20 games, that middle order combination hasn't been very stable. So the fact that they haven't played a huge amount of cricket with each other in terms of batting partnerships and just getting to know each other's games a lot better through playing in pressure moments, I think that'll improve as they bat more together. But at the end of the day, you still need results. So you give guys as long as they can to find that balance between, find that balance of forming partnerships and forming really good, strong relationships out in the middle. So, but like I said, the top order, we're the ones that need to step up.
How does the pitch change here as it sort of gets later in the season, and you think about that as you pick your team for tomorrow?
Yeah, there's not a real lot of grass on this one, and I think we're using the same wicket again on Sunday, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays tomorrow. I don't expect it to be any fair amount of pace in it. I think it'll be on the slower side. Might turn slightly, but it looks like a pretty good one-day wicket.
Marnus is coming off a century, expecting more fireworks from him.
Yeah, I think that was a great 100 from Marnus under pressure. The way that he managed his innings was outstanding and really cashed in towards the back end. I think that'll help him start to feel really comfortable at ODI level. I think Test cricket has obviously gone to another level, but just to have the ability to relax into your role at number 4 is really important. So that was a great 100.
Aaron, you settled on an 11?
No, not yet.
Will you see Stark and Cummins back?
Sorry?
Expect to see Stark and Cummins back?
I'd expect to, yeah.
Is part of that middle order challenge making sure you have enough overs from the 5th bowlers there? Is that proving another little sort of act you're trying to get right at the moment? You've obviously got your big 4 sort of locked in, and you're still trying to find that consistent 5th bowler?
Yeah, I think the role that Mitch, Marnus and Darcy can do is that as that 5th sort of bowler combination, I think is going to be important, obviously, for the balance of the side. But yeah, it's always tough when you don't get wickets through that middle period. I think our power play bowling has been outstanding for the last series. We took wickets up front, managed to get into their middle order, and just couldn't really finish them off at certain times. So the 5th bowler, I think most teams around the world will find when you're going with an all-rounder at 6 and a couple of part-timers to chip in for that role, it can be difficult managing that at times, but we've got a lot of confidence in Mitch's bowling along with Darcy and Marnus.
Aaron, is the coronavirus?
Coronavirus has been talked about. Has the side done anything or spoken about not doing certain things, like shining a ball, or I don't know, like anything different? Interacting with fans, I know it's been touched on, but I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about it specifically yet. I'm no doubt that I think Cricket Australia have put together a coronavirus group to work out some strategies, so no doubt we'll find out about them later on today.
Obviously, so you're off the IPL in a month, and India's put some travel restrictions there. Is that something you're keeping an eye on from that perspective as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The franchise has been great in updating players pretty much daily on how that looks and how that's going to affect anything going forward. But yeah, we're just concentrating on tomorrow. I know it's difficult when it's such a pandemic now, so it's going to be tough, and no doubt there'll be some restrictions in place for both teams and fans and grounds. So it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds.
I know you focus on tomorrow, but what is the current situation you're being told as far as the IPL goes?
I haven't heard anything different than the other day when it was it's business as usual at the moment.
Sports in Italy have been shut down. Some football games around the world are played in empty stadiums. Would it be weird to play in an empty stadium?
It would be weird to play in an empty stadium, no doubt. I think you get so accustomed to the atmosphere of the fans and who ride the momentum really well, especially when you're playing at home and the Australian fans support us so well. If it comes to that, we'll wait and see. But I saw the NBA being suspended for the near future, so yeah, it's interesting to see. It's not ideal, obviously. It's a lot of people affected, which is unfortunate.
How does it feel wearing a retro kit?
It's awesome, love it. This was my vote, 100% for the out of the retro vote. I guess it was such iconic memories of the '99 World Cup. Warnie in that semi-final and then the final was awesome.